All right, Cam Newton's 28 years old. Cam Newton has been a starting quarterback in this league for 7 years. There is now no real reason that you need to be so clumsy in that moment. Do I think that players largely snicker at questions about X's and O's and scheme from all reporters? Yeah, I do. I've been in too many press conferences. I've been in too many locker rooms not to think, not to see slight gestures, kind of a taking of a breath, a sigh, a rolling of the eyes when you finally get to their answer about X's and O's. And look, I can't say I necessarily blame them. They spend their entire lives inside a locker room, inside film rooms, on a football field, a basketball court, whatever it is, and they are constantly studying something so that when somebody asks them a rudimentary question about it, it probably feels like you're schooling kindergartners. I understand that frustration from athletes, and I have felt it myself being inside locker rooms at press conferences when guys don't really want to talk. Here's the problem. Had Cam Newton said, it's funny hearing reporters ask about route running, okay, it doesn't come off as sexist. It just comes off as, why would you put yourself in that situation? You're old enough. You've been in the league long enough. All you're doing is being dismissive of the people that cover you and have obviously helped build your brand. I mean, there is a working relationship between players and media. When we have on a guy like Spice Adams next in 2 hours from now, he's going to want to promote something that comes when he comes on. How many athletes or coaches have you heard come on and promote something on this show or that show? There is a working relationship that you have when you need them, they need you, and you got to work together. So to just kind of be dismissive or laugh off questions is kind of silly, I think, because it does you no good. But more than that, Cam Newton, having been in this league long enough, should realize there are women in sports reporting that know more about the game than some men in sports reporting. There are some men in sports reporting that don't know a lot about sports reporting. There are some women in sports reporting that don't know a lot about sports and X's and O's. But the fact is, to broadly brush with a stroke of it's funny to hear chicks talk football is A, never going to go over well, and you've been in the league long enough to know that. B, is patently untrue, because I've definitely spoken to women in sports media that I know their stuff. Do you ever watch Susie Colbert and go, she doesn't know what she's talking about? Never. She knows what she's talking about. Judy Batista, formerly New York Times, NFL.com. I know her a little bit, and we've worked together before. When we talk football, I mean, it's like I'm talking to any coach that has sat in a film room and watched stuff over and over again. You know, acting as though women can't know it is laughable, because there's plenty of dudes that don't know it as well as some chicks do. And more so, if you're Cam, where in your brain do you go, yeah, this is a funny idea, this is a good idea, chuckling publicly at a question and singling out the fact that she's a female reporter. Also, she's been on the beat for 2 seasons. So Cam should know, that there's a relationship there, that she's in the locker room every single day. So, I mean, come on. But, when it comes to Cam Newton's brain, sometimes I think that the synapses don't fire very well.